Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Conan?
Pretty good. Let me put on my headphones just in case you hear yourself.
Okay,
There you go. Okay, that should be better.
awesome. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, how's
I'm
it?
glad I'm interviewing you because I honestly had no idea which member, but I watched a couple of your interviews, so I'm glad.
Cool. Yeah, sweet. That's no problem.
Yeah, cool. It's nice to meet you. I love the new album, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And good to meet you too, Jenna, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna start this out. Usually I start out by talking about something else, but you guys got to come to Fargo and play a show sometime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's been a while since we actually gone out of the West Coast. So yeah, we we got to hit up as many towns as we can.
Yeah, I gotta come up and experience the frozen north. Although right now it's not
Yes.
frozen, but
Not
but
yet.
for
Not
6 months it
yet.
is.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully soon we could do like a full like tour. We were planning on that, so we'll see how far we can, how much we can do at the end of this year. But we're definitely going to be going all over the place again next year. So
Awesome.
be prepared.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so you're going to release your new album, Necrophony. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah, I mean that's how I say it. I don't know. I guess I don't know if it's a made up word, right? I think it's necrophony. That's what we've been saying. So yeah, we're pretty
Okay.
stoked about this one.
Yeah, in August 24th, I did not write down the date. So it's the 24th, correct? Or the 25th?
The 25th,
Okay. I was
August
close.
25th. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
it's okay.
let's talk about the album art. I have not seen anywhere of who did the album art. So first question, who did the
Oh,
album?
yeah, he's done a lot of our t-shirts and stuff. He go on Instagram, he goes by Ahot, by all caps. His name is Toha Mashudi. And yeah, we've worked with him with for a bunch of art designs. He also did the artwork for our EP that came out 2019, I think. So yeah, we just really like his style, and we figured, well, he did the EP last time and it came out great. Let's have him do like the album art this time around too. And yeah, I think it just came out great. We're trying to go for something a little different this time. Our albums are usually having some like barbarian dude fight something else or whatever, right? So this time is a little more reflective of the title of A Symphony of the Dead. So we had him pretty much drop four zombie dudes performing in an orchestra or a mini ensemble, and it's funny because there's four of them, there's four of us. So I think he did that on purpose. I didn't tell him to do that, so that was pretty interesting.
Cool. That's cool. I love all the detail in it. Like when you really zoom in, you see all the lines and stuff. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, he's really good. I really like how much detail he puts into all his all his work. He does a lot of cool things, and I think I think his forte is like painting, or sorry, drawing dead figures, a lot of skulls, a lot of zombies he does, and it's yeah, it's really cool.
Nice. Yeah, so when you look at the album art, like aside from the title track, of course, like is there like what are these zombies doing like in your mind when you look at it? Like what songs do you feel like it really brings to life?
Wow, what songs? Yeah, interesting. I don't know. Yeah, because I think just the overall theme of the album, I guess, is just dealing with death in a certain way. Not just actual physical body death, but like death of many things. Because at this time, um, it was during the pandemic when we wrote this, so we kind of all fell into like a deep depression of like a pointless. We just felt like everything. There's no hope to that we're not going to be able to tour anymore. All that stuff. What's the point? So it's really reflective of how we felt as a band. It kind of felt like it was the death of our band, and not just ours, but many things, many careers, many things that kind of went to shit at the time, right? So we just kind of we obviously made an effort to bring ourselves out of that, and find our purpose again, and just just get into that, and again into a more positive mindset, and just get it done, and then just see what happens. And thankfully things are restrictions are lifted and everything. So yeah, so we're definitely feeling a lot better now. but still that the album kind of deals with these kind of concepts, a very much darker side to our usual sound. I mean, the music is more or less the same, but we do emphasize more darker harmonies, darker melodic structures and stuff like that, that match with the lyrical content this time around, which again is more on the, I guess, the darker, more introspective side.
Okay, yeah, and you also you have a music video out called Mind of Metal, and
Yeah.
that was like a blast to film. I love the part where the three guitars are sitting there and then they turn into swords.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot of fun shooting that one. Yeah, we didn't really know what to do for the music video. So we're like, we will definitely need to find a warehouse or somewhere we could do. And then okay, that was no problem. We hit up Lenny Vituli. He did a Warbringer music video before, and that one came out great. So yeah, we hit him up about that because yeah, he did a good job with them. So yeah, he was really what's the word? Just very flexible, and just he had a really solid vision of what he wanted to do, and he wanted us to get like just medieval swords and all that stuff and armor. And I was like, I know just the guy, a friend I used to play Dungeons and Dragons with back in high school, and old friend of mine, JP, and he had all this shit. And I knew he had, but he's been like doing more stuff because he's also a blacksmith, so he had all the blacksmith tools and the anvil. So yeah, all that was actually his. It was my friend's. All the props were his, and
Oh,
yeah, he brought him up, and then Lenny was blown away by that because he's like, okay, that's more than enough than when we need. That's what I imagined. So yeah, so because of that, he was really inspired, and yeah, all of us had a blast just getting together and like coming up with how we're gonna like do like the little story segment in the video. And it's on the cheesy side, of course, but it was really cool. It was really fun. It's kind of with a song title like that, Mind of Metal. It's already going to be like your usual nerdy cheesy kind of vibe. And I don't know. I think it came out great, and I think we all had a blast filming that shit. It was really fun.
that's awesome. Yeah. How did you like what sparked you to come up with that specific concept? Like, and how do you feel it embodies the actual lyrics too?
Oh, well, yeah. In that case, the song itself is very much inspired by Lord of the Rings. We usually have songs that are like inspired like that, but our drummer Adrian, he had watched I guess the movies fairly recently at the time, and he said, "Oh yeah, I want to name a song called Mind of Metal." I think that's what Treebeard says about Saruman. Another villain in the story, not just Sauron, but um, so yeah, I decided to yeah, let's have a song title like that, and I'll make it about Saruman and how his mind works, and that he's just he's pretty much like I guess an industrial figure but like the negative connotations, I guess, because Tolkien was very much against the industrial revolution and how it was destroying in a sense the earth, pretty much is kind of his sentiments. That's why a lot of his good guy characters are all tree lovers and nature lovers and stuff like that. So I just wrote lyrics that kind of like emulated that attitude, but it makes for a good metal song anyway, right? It had some cool, imagery and stuff, if you agree with it or not, and whatnot. But like, yeah, we pretty much had that in mind. That's why I think the music video kind of worked with that. We had JP, my friend, he was the other actor in there, the sorcerer, blacksmith there, and it just makes sense because that's pretty much what Saruman was. It didn't really show him blacksmithing, but he was a blacksmith character in the books. In a way, I can get into all this Tolkien lore, so don't get me started. I'll keep it short. I love Tolkien if you haven't noticed, but yeah, so that's I think that's why it worked out well. And Lenny had a great idea of how to run everything, and everything worked out smoothly with them. So definitely would like to work with them again at some point.
Awesome. Yeah, and I also read in the bio that came with the album that some of it's inspired by Edgar Allan Poe, which
Yes.
which is amazing. So my question is like what is it about Edgar Allan Poe's work that really like or what was that first piece that really sparked your inspiration to write from Edgar Allan Poe?
Well, I think it was just it just I don't know how to write a song about it. I've always wanted to do like a specific you know a story piece of his, and I haven't really done anything like that yet. And I thought it was a good time because when the pandemic happened, I thought the Mask of Red Death is no better song to do it at this time. I guess a lot of things kind of make sense. The story itself about isolation and the inevitability of not being able to escape death because it's inevitable. Um, and whatnot is kind of a sentiment we all felt, and not just that, but everyone was wearing masks too. So I thought this was like, oh, perfect kind of reflection of the time, and with a lot of, like, I guess, those symbols, I guess. So yeah, that was, it just felt right to do at the time, to write a song about that. And yeah, it actually opens the album. So the opening track is actually, well, it's an intro, the Masquerade into the Mask of Red Death. It's all the same, I guess. We decided to split it because in case people don't want to listen to the very elaborate introduction, they could just go straight to the song. I figure that that's better for most listeners. um, so yeah, we decided to open up the album like that because I guess that kind of just puts you into the how everything, how we all felt at the time, at the beginning of the pandemic, and how we were trying to, like, get ourselves out of this feeling. But yeah, that whole isolation and dark thoughts, and of course the inevitability of death is a scary thought, of course. So yeah, I think Edgar Allan Poe captures this in his writings very intimately in a way, and we wanted to do that musically. So I mean, it's a different medium, but I hope we succeeded. So I hope that kind of draws every listener to prepare themselves for the rest of the album.
Yeah, and then like with the album, you, especially at the very end of it with the closing track, Moonchild, like you kind of have some power metal
Oh yeah,
tones in
absolutely.
it.
Oh yeah, because that's an Iron Maiden cover, and I didn't sing that. I don't have those pipes, but our my friend, our bassist's brother, he sang that. Yeah, he plays in a band called Fortress, and yeah, that's more their vibe. More classic heavy metal sound, clean vocals and stuff. So yeah, he definitely nailed the Bruce Dickinson lines for that song. But yeah, it's more so on the I guess, yeah, the power metal spectrum of heavy metal.
Yeah, definitely. Because I was like, oh wow, this is cool. It's like a complete like left turn.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that too, because that is also probably like it's from their Seventh Son of a Seventh Son album. One of my personal favorites. I don't know if it is my favorite. I don't know. I can't decide. But yeah, that album is very much their, like, darker album during the '80s, and we felt that it was a cool time to do an Iron Maiden cover, like from the dark side for this album, because this is pretty much our darkest work yet. Um, so yeah, it was good timing, and of course, Chris, Cody's brother, came to save the day because I couldn't sing that.
Yeah, and so let's talk about a couple of other songs like throughout the
Yeah.
album. You have one called Prophecy, which it has such a full guitar riff at the beginning. So my question is, when you were in the creation process, what sparked the inspiration for that specific riff?
Interesting. Actually, well, the opening riff, actually a couple of riffs in there. Chase Becker, or the guitarist, he wrote that, and I think at the time I was writing another riff that kind of sounded like it. Yeah, it was I was writing Mind of Metal at the same time, so they're very similar. Not songs as a whole in structure, but there's a lot of similar riff ideas that they share, and I like to do that with our albums and stuff. Like, have songs that are somewhat related, like sister songs, if you will, because there's a lot of similar things going on, but a different, I guess, approach to their whole structure and blah blah blah, like all that good stuff. Enough variety so it doesn't sound the same, but I like to keep some kind of cohesion throughout the album. But yeah, but he came up with that, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. It's like very similar to what I was working with on this song, blah blah. And I just kind of went with it to see what we could come up with. But yeah, it's definitely much more like on a more rock and roll kind of vibe, at least the attitude of the riff. So when we were writing that, it's like, this could be like our arena rock song. It's a little more mid-paced and more punchy. So yeah, that's definitely a track we would play at an arena.
Yeah, it definitely has a beat to it. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really punchy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can dig the arena rock. It's just a lot
Yeah.
heavier.
Yeah. I know, yeah, right. Not so much like say like an 80s band, but still it has that vibe. And that's exactly what we were going for with that track, more of an old school 80s arena rock jam anthem, if you will. So we'll test it out with the smaller audiences and see if they appreciate that beat.
Oh, that's a cool song. And then the next song, Children of the Night, that one is a lot more melodic. Like
Oh yeah,
it,
the direct contrast from the
yeah,
prophecy. Yeah.
yeah. That one, I love that one. It's so
Thank you.
cool. So what is that song about exactly, first of
that
all?
that 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 one's very much inspired by the classic horror movies. Well, one in
Oh,
particular,
nice.
Dracula. When what's his name? That the guy that comes up to the castle. I forget the stories. I forget the guy's name. It's been a long time since I read the book or even seen that movie. But definitely was inspired by the line that Dracula says. Oh. They hear the wolves howling in the middle of the night, and he's like, "Oh, listen to them, the children of the night. What music they make." And I thought that was really fucking cool. That would be a cool, title for a song and inspiration for that, like lyrically. So the song is pretty much about like what happens over there in his Transylvanian castle. Pretty much lures hapless victims into his lair and pretty much turns them into beasts. I guess that's implied throughout the story that he turns people to the undead. And there's a couple of songs that have that attitude or theme in the album, but this one's more like relishing in the fact that you are becoming a creature of the night, and you're relishing in the bloodlust that you feel, because that's I guess that's pretty much what Dracula would feel at times. But there are other songs that are on the negative aspect of immortality and whatnot, and that's the title track. That one's more of a lonely reflection of immortality and stuff like that. So yeah, we try to do kind of have different aspects of certain themes in our albums. But Children of the Night is a fun one. It's more of our like relishing in evil thoughts and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, the entire album is amazing. So I have to
Thank you.
ask, because you've been in this band since you were like 13 years old, from what I read,
Yes,
which is
12. I think I was 12. I think, yeah, but same thing.
oh, crazy.
Yeah,
That's a long
me
time.
me and my cousin Mario, we started the band. I was 12. I think so. I was 12. He was 13 or 14. I think he was 13. And we just started with a bunch of friends in middle school. And yeah, we didn't know what we're doing. We still don't know what we're doing. And so you could say we started at that time, but our real start was probably with our first album, 2008. We were just fresh out of high school when that came out. Well, I recorded it when I was still in high school, but still, yeah, we were very young, and a lot of angst. You could hear it in the album and the old recordings. Really just fast and like really immature.
That's awesome. So here's a question. Let me see if I can word this the right way in my mind, out of my mind. I mean, um, so what would you say, like, if your 12-year-old self was in front of you right now, what do you think would be your most favorite track off of the album that you would be a fan of?
Hmm.
Like, if you were still 12 years old, but looking at this like from a fan perspective.
Oh, I see. Okay, like you mean like the album I was about to release or something, right? Like from my own, or you're talking about other
Yeah, of your
artists?
own.
Of my
Yeah,
own, of my own. Oh,
of
okay.
your own.
Yeah, I don't know. Good question. I don't know. I'm not very too, I mean, I like compliments and stuff, but I try not to like hold on to them too much, because I kind of it makes me too comfortable with like, yeah, I did that, I'm doing that just right, cool. And I fail to like work on it more, because there's always time, there's almost always room for improvement, unless you're like, I don't know, the Beatles or something. I'm just kidding. um but yeah, so I don't know, I would probably be a harsh critic to myself. It's like, hey, you need to work on this a little more. It sounds cool, but you gotta get your shit together. Your voice leading was terrible right there, come on. I think I would tell myself that sooner, because I didn't learn music theory till way later. Like after high school, I took some classes in community college, and I had a great instructor, and he really instilled like this very strict kind of learning process for it. And he was, because he was just so passionate about it. So I guess I would probably be very harsh to myself at the time too, just so I can get into that mindset of learning at a younger age versus 12 versus, like, I think I was like 20 when I actually started learning music theory. So that big 8-year gap, I feel like I could have accomplished a lot more, expressed a lot more easily. So that's probably what I would tell myself. Maybe I wouldn't be so mean to myself, because I, was a sensitive little boy. So maybe not as bad.
Is there a specific song that you feel that like
Oh, that's right. You
you
said about a specific song. Probably the I don't know, maybe the title track to our first album, In Hatred's Flame. Because I think it's a big fan favorite, but I would probably just tell myself that was good, but you could have done this to express the classical stuff you were trying to do, because that's when I was really pushing for that at the time without any training of any sort. So I would probably be hard on myself for that. Like, that's great effort, but not very good voice leading. You could try better next time, buddy.
yeah, and so you are very like inspired by, of course, like all the horror and Edgar Allan Poe and Lovecraft too, which I read.
Yes.
So over throughout your discography over the years, like, is there an experience that you had, with inspiration from, some of these other horror artists that really stuck out for a song or an album that you wrote that just has such, just like a very vivid memory of it for you?
For sure. Like the Evil Dead stuff, the Evil Dead movies. Me and my cousin Maria grew up with them, and we named the band after one of the sayings in Evil Dead 2. The beginning of the movie, there's like a little, prologue explaining what's going on, and it's talking about the Book of the Dead, and it said Necronomicon Exmortus, and we're like, that's such a cool fucking title. Like, we should name our band that, like, Exmortus. And then little did we know there's like 2 other Exmortus bands in existence, probably even more, who knows. So because of that, we changed the spelling to US ending just to be somewhat unique. But anyways, so yeah, so whenever we would write songs, we kind of wanted that vibe. But I don't think we actually had an actual Evil Dead song, something directly inspired by that. So when we wrote the EP, Legions of the Undead, we have a song finally about the Evil Dead called Swallow Your Soul. So that one definitely took me back to me and my cousin, just watching these movies as kids, because our parents wouldn't let us watch it, so we'd like put it on, like see this crazy violent horror movie, and yeah, so like it just took me back to hanging out with my cousin, and me and him obviously share an intimate relationship with this band, even though he's not in the band anymore. He left like several years ago, but he's very much responsible for the success of this band. So yeah, it was a really good memories writing this song and recording it and whatnot. So yeah.
That's so awesome. Yeah. Well, those are all of my questions that I have for today until we do one in person.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Whenever, I'm sure you have plenty of things to ask anytime. Yeah. Well, hopefully when we come by in person, right, when we tour in your neck of the woods, we could totally have an in-person interview. That's totally fine by me.
Yeah, because it always happens. It never fails. Like every time but after an interview, I think there's like 20 other questions. Damn, really?
Yeah.
Every
Oh, I know.
time.
No, it's all good. Yeah, you get caught up in the moment. It's okay. That's how we are. That's how I am. That's how I am all the time. Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, but the album is amazing. Is there anything else that you want to get out to the world about Necrophony that comes out from Nuclear Blast Records on August 25th?
Just that I hope fans enjoy it. I think there's a lot of stuff that our veteran fans are going to be used to and feel maybe a little surprised, or just it's going to be a fresh take for our fans, definitely. So I'm stoked for them to listen to the whole album, and of course for newcomers to see what we're all about. And I think this is going to be a good one for us. We're really happy with how everything came out, and we hope all our listeners are going to be happy with it too.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you have a wonderful rest of the day in California. I'm sure it's absolutely beautiful out there right now.
It is, and it's scorching hot. So yeah, we're dying here, burning up. I'm sweating as I'm sitting right now.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
seems like the entire US is right now. It's crazy.
it's pretty hot. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
But we'll make it. We'll survive.
Yeah, that we will, unless the aliens come down and wipe
Oh
us out. But I'm really hoping they're really nice aliens.
yeah. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Right. We'll see what happens.
Yes, I would love to meet an alien. How about you?
Yeah. X-Files.
Yes. All right. Well,
Awesome.
thank you so much, Conan. It's been so much fun to chat with you today.
Yes. Likewise. You have a great rest of your day.
You as well.
All right.
Bye.
Peace.